And we're back. We were just live with the Horror Syndicate, and now we're live here on my channel. Rage or the Rage continues. Uh, I'm gonna. I keep forgetting. I have my privacy settings set where I can't get comments. This is my buddy Seth. For anybody who doesn't know, we talked about Superman: The Quest for Peace a couple of days ago, and that was a jolly good time. Give me 1 second, Seth. Seth, say hi to the people that aren't watching.
Hi to all the people who are not watching. How are you?
Yes. I think they're good. I don't know, but we'll see. So drop a comment. Let me know if you're watching. We're gonna talk about some geekery shit, man. This is my 7th straight day live. I'm gonna try keep on chugging. I'm gonna have guests like Seth. I almost called you Seths. Guests like Seth, and trying to get Milliner to come on here because he and I are close friends. Try to get Keith from being such a wiener and come on and hang out sometime because he's being a wiener. Alex, we love you. Glad to see you here. Hello, Steve Carino. If you've not seen The Dark Military, I believe that is on Tubi too. And Steve, I'm sorry, I hate to say I don't remember what the hand you had in that movie, but I remember you had a hand in that. Lauren Lapre, or I probably pronounced that wrong. Anyway, so we just did the Horror Syndicate. We talked about demons, demone, and I was like, "You want to come on my live stream?" And Seth's like, "Yep, I'm gonna go smoke, and then we'll do it." So here we are. I don't know what we're gonna talk about. So I was hoping that we'd have people comment and dictate what we talk about. So let's talk about some geek stuff that's on your mind tonight. What's on your mind tonight, geeks? This is straight up geekery, complete geekery, downright geekery. I'm going to start calling something Geekery instead of the Razor Show because that's just boring. That's what this is. So, what's been on your mind that's not horror related, Seth?
Oh, I don't know. I've been all over the place lately. There's times where I'm like really into superhero stuff, and then I avoided getting that Star Wars bug for a long time while you and everyone else was like, really, that's all you guys have been talking about, especially in our
High Council.
Yeah, and then just the other day,
or the High Council, or the High Order, whatever the fuck it's called.
I thought about that. I thought about trying to High Republic, trying to find like a picture of Cheech and Chong and just kind of Photoshop them onto that cover.
That's probably. I'm surprised that we haven't seen that yet. The High Republic. I mean, they really chose a poor title for the High Republic. I mean, calling it the High Republic. Yeah, I was excited about the High Republic until reviews started coming in. I'm a Star Wars nut, and I'm going to read the book. I need to get it first. But here's a Facebook post I did with some art by I don't know what I wrote. What did I write? Of all the Star Wars comics coming to Marvel, the High Republic is one I'm most interested in. For me, I want to see more exploration out of the 60 years between The Phantom Menace and The Rise of Skywalker. Dark Horse and the novels did so well, going thousands of years before The Phantom Menace and 137 years beyond The Return of the Jedi. Haha. Good times. And it's true. This takes place 200 years before, and there he is right there. You turd. I just mentioned you. Keith, I'm calling you a turd. I'm just telling you. Keith did buy the first High Republic book. I called it the High Council. Maybe that's my new thing. I'm going to create the High Council. It's going to be a bunch of potheads smoking up. Seth, you can probably write this one for me.
I can give you some. I can give you some insight.
which lightsaber did you get there, Alex? Curious. Yeah, I mean, I'm still somewhat excited about the High Republic, but I'm gonna wait and see. I've read and watched YouTube videos and reviews, and the first comic sounds very blah, which is the thing I'll probably keep more in contact with. It sounds very boring. How's it going, Keith? You're on chapter 9.
Well, he's got that book report due on the 12th.
Yeah, he does have a book report due on the 12th on the High Republic. See if there's any other pictures I could. I don't think I put any other pictures up, but I searched for it on Facebook. You can see my Facebook. There's John F. Okay, there's part of the High the High Republic. John F. Kennedy. What the fuck? You're useless, Facebook. You're drunk as well. Go home. All right. So anyway, fellow stoners unite. I saw someone comment on a post about the High Republic, and they said it should have been a character based on Snoop Dogg. They should have. That's true. That would have been pretty damn funny. There's a lot of stuff that can come. There's a 200-year gap, so that'll be fun to fill that in. Apparently, that show, The Acolyte, is going to be towards the end or the end of the High Republic era. So, it's terrible though. I wish they would. I wish they would do more like a movie also, which they could. They could do because we don't know how long this is going to last, but we'll see. Holy shit!
Oh, wow.
You gotta post a picture of all your goddamn lightsabers, my friend. I'm thinking about buying a saber from just looking up Cornath or something like that. Let me look it up on my phone. Yeah, Corbanth sabers. The Star Wars Theory guy did a review on one, and it looks so damn good. And I know Keith bought a cool saber last year. You liking it so far? Cool. I'm probably still gonna get the book. It's the launch of the whole thing. Keith, I really think the young adults more for you because you're only 15, right? So yeah, at the beginning of the year, I like the end of the year is a big deal for me, and and I always think of the new year as a like a new dawn in a way. So I'm like, I'm gonna start something new, and I had so much trouble the other night trying to figure something out. I ended up watching the first like 6 episodes of Arrow, but I haven't gone back to it since. So I'm in a weird place where I don't know what to do with myself as far as watching. I did watch Demons 1 and 2. I watched Wonder Woman last night from 2017. I fucking love that movie. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Okay, it's a fantastic movie.
Yeah, it really is. It's Wonder Woman. When they first revealed Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, like before any pictures came out, everybody was saying she had too small boobs. I'm like, is that really what we're going to base this on? Is her breast size? I mean, she hadn't been in much that I can remember except for Fast and Furious. Do you remember seeing her anything?
Fast and Furious sequels. That's about it.
And she was okay. Is Giselle, I think, was her name.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, I saw the very first image. I'm trying to pull it up here, see if I can find it. Here it is, right here. They released this image of her. Zack Snyder did, and I'm like, oh my fucking god! So let me pull that up real fast because it blew me away. I was like, okay. I was like, yeah, that's Wonder Woman. She looks awesome. I was disappointed at how dark the costume was, but I thought it was lighting and just a promo shot. So, but it was pretty dark in the movie. Now, I will say one thing about Wonder Woman 84, which I'm not exactly excited about because it was just okay. Quest for Peace, right? Yeah. Show off your collection. I want to see collections. I love collections. Show it off. You got a Facebook page? Anyway, I liked her costume was more vibrant, more bright, the way it looked in the comics, closer to what it looked like in the comics versus this dark. And that's a Zack Snyder thing. I'm sure being so dark and stuff, which whatever, that's his deal. Oh, we can talk. That's what we can talk about. The Snyder cut too. Let's talk about Wonder Woman. Anyway, tell me some stuff about Wonder Woman that you like.
Well,
not just that she's we know that already.
Well, I think she was like almost like the perfect casting for it. She's very natural and convincing in that role. And one of the things that I love about the first Wonder Woman movie is the characters themselves. I mean, if you take out the core of her or Steve Trevor, it's kind of an underwhelming movie as a whole. But what really makes it for me is there's a certain level of optimism with the characters. They seem very natural in how they react to certain things. her and Steve, there's like almost like a parallel between the two, that they have a common goal, but they have different worldviews. You know, she's very naive and optimistic. He's very world weary. He's seen the ugliness of the world, and they just both of them totally embody goodness. And then there's the posse that go along with them.
Yeah.
They're also very likable. It's a collection of really likable characters, and you know, and there's some good action stuff in it. I think the movie really peaked at that scene where she was rising up from the trenches, you know, to go against the Germans. But I think it was a fantastic movie with a lot of heart, and unfortunately, the second movie just didn't really have it that much.
Yeah, it didn't. And I said last night I really missed the Sword and Shield. I like that they had more of an emphasis on her lasso, but the Sword and Shield, like watching for. So yeah, that scene you're talking about when she comes out of the trench and exposes the suit for the first time and blocks that first bullet. That is such an amazing scene. One of my favorite things about that scene is when she gets behind her shield, she's just like hold the line with the shield, and they're just and like I kept thinking to myself, I think it's better than Captain America, the first Avenger, Wonder Woman, and they're very comparable. And I know a lot of people were worried about that when they heard that Wonder Woman was going to be set during World War One. They're like, oh, it's going to be like the first Avenger, and in ways it is. But for some reason, I think I prefer this a little bit more to that. And you know how I feel about Cap. Anyway, that scene, that whole scene, and then you get to the town. And the Wonder Woman music starts playing, and she goes into that room and takes out all those guys. But the way she used the shield, mostly, like she was sliding on the shield and knocking people down and kicking people. They break a board over her stomach. It's just the fight scenes in that movie are awesome, and they're probably better than any of the other DC movies, which is a testament to Wonder Woman herself, who is the best fighter in all of DC universe. If you don't think so, fight me, because she is. She's the best fighter. So better than Batman, better than Superman. Superman just has all the strength and everything. Batman, he doesn't have anything like, Anyway, I love Batman. So, but yeah, that whole scene makes a lot of the movie for me. I mean, like, there's a lot of stuff before that it's great. Like, I liked all the stuff with Themyscira with Steve Trevor, especially when she looks at his watch and says, "What's that?" And you think, she's looking at his penis. And their relationship was good too. I mean, their relationship for the whole, like when she gets to London, that's one of the best parts in my opinion. When she gets to London and she's confused, like, why are they holding hands? And she grabs Steve Trevor's hand, and we're not together. Good stuff like that. And and the ice cream scene, dude. She sells that. She's like, it's so good, or whatever. He should be proud of himself. I love that scene. And Gal Gadot, she was perfect casting. Very exotic, and like Wonder Woman's always been portrayed by an American voice actress, and even that Wonder Woman show from whenever that was, 2010 or whatever, with Adrian Palicki from Supernatural. Even with her, she's American and she's going to have an American accent. Linda Carter, So I'm glad that they did, because Themyscira is an island, and sure, they can speak thousands of languages. Why would they have an American accent? Yeah. I love her. I love her voice so much. It knocks me off my feet. So I really enjoyed watching Wonder Woman last night. After I need to watch 84 again and give it that good old second chance. But yeah. So
with the 84 though, it was like the first half was so boring. There was not much happening. And it just felt different. It felt light. It didn't have quite the, there's a lot of like emotional stuff in the first one. How she reacts to seeing the effects of war, seeing all the people who are injured or hurt, and you know what I mean? Yeah. This one, it was just.
Do you think it felt like it was a CW show?
To a degree, it did, because it was just. I don't know, the whole thing with her and Steve in '84, it didn't really. I don't know. It didn't really work for me. And
No, did they have to bring him back? I mean, really?
well, no, they shouldn't have. But but he was so likable in the first one, so I understand why they did. But how they did it was so weird because, like, I guess we're talking spoilers.
Now, hold on. Don't say anything spoilery yet. Don't say anything spoilery yet. Okay. Now it's okay.
Okay, so
spoiler thing up. Spoilers.
That special stone, it granted people's wishes, and things just materialized out of nowhere, like the wall or all the nuclear missiles. So why couldn't he just come back? Why did it have to be where he had to take over somebody else's body?
Yeah.
And I've seen the comments, and there wasn't really consent.
Well, it was the consent from the person inhabiting his body, but it wasn't his, Steve Trevor's actual body. So yeah, it's pretty rough. I didn't care for the ending all that much myself for '84. It was okay. It felt like it was a messy movie and almost didn't know what it wanted to be. And I really didn't like the beginning. It was too colorful and bright, and I know they're trying to show the excess of the '80s, but I don't think they came across. It makes me worried about Patty Jenkins' next project, which I don't know if it's Wonder Woman 3 or if it's going to be the Rogue Squadron movie, which there's a lot of YouTubers worried about Patty Jenkins doing Rogue Squadron because of the way Wonder Woman 84 turned out. I need to finish watching my second viewing, and I'm trying to do like bit by bit instead of watching it straight through. I will also admit I was very sleepy Christmas Day when I watched it, so but
I've seen people online, like especially on YouTube, kind of question Patty Jenkins, but it's like it's one bad movie. Even my favorite director doesn't have some great films. It happens.
And who's that?
Some guy named Carpenter. John, is it? Yeah, John Carpenter.
Never seen a single one of his movies.
Yeah, I think the big problem with '84 was the story. It was the script. Yeah. It was longer than it needed to be. It was too messy, as you said.
And it felt rushed. But this is a movie that was pushed back multiple times. Even before the pandemic, it was pushed back. So I think it was supposed to come out in 2019 at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Or no. Something like, I can't remember. I know that's and Black Widow have been pushed back more than anything.
Yeah.
Maybe No Time to Kill. Let me see, because I'm pretty sure it was supposed to come out in 2019.
I think it was. I don't know. In '80s nostalgia is just kind of. I don't know. I'm kind of getting over
this it. This is '80s nostalgia done wrong, in my opinion. I think they didn't do it the right way.
Yeah. It just didn't seem like there was a point to it being set in the '80s.
Yeah, it was supposed to be originally released on December 13th, 2019, but then it was moved up to November 9th, 2019. Then it was delayed to June 5th, 2020. That's pandemic stuff. And then October, and then Christmas. So yeah, I got moved around a lot. So originally it was going to be in October. I think if this was released last year or in 2019, it would have been hit a lot harder than it was this year or 2020. I think people would have it would I don't remember I don't take a lot of stock in Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know if you do or not, but it's got 60% isn't terrible on Rotten Tomatoes. It's 5.5 on IMDb. That is bad. So compared to the first Wonder Woman movie, what do you guys think of the Wonder Woman movie? Let us know in the comments, please. Comment. Stop being so timid. We'll read your comments. I do.
Well, I mean, I was
90. So it goes from 93% to 60%. Huge drop.
I saw that. Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah. The thing with it too is I was optimistic about it, but based on the trailers, I wasn't overly excited for it. Right. And I love the first Wonder Woman movie. That's like my third favorite DC EU movie. And one of the highlights of Batman vs Superman was that moment where she comes in at the end and her music started playing. she's really great, but it's just the movie just didn't really do it. I liked Pedro Pascal as this ultimate version of Maxwell Lord, I guess.
It has to be alternate version of Maxwell Lord. That's not
Yeah,
the Maxwell Lord I know from the comics at all.
no, and I thought that moment at the end was kind of effective when they showed his past, and then showing him being you know physically and mentally abused by his father, getting picked on by other people for his shoes, which I know what that's like. And then you see him like kind of like in his suit outside this like little small like little area, setting up his little thing. Like I felt bad for him. Like he was a guy who was really genuinely trying to not be a loser, and I thought that was effective, but it was like at that point, it's the very end of the movie, and it's
right. Maybe if it was cut together a little bit different, it would have been better.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna give it another shot, and it's I'm very like pro DC movie, and you know this. I love BVS, Man of Steel. I even was fine with Justice League. When I left the Justice League in the theater, I was like, oh, that was all right. It was better than I thought it would be, but this one just I don't know. Birds of Prey is another one not a lot of people liked that I liked, and I like Suicide Squad. Yeah. But this one just I couldn't. I don't know, and maybe because I was so tired, but I started watching again, and the beginning of the mall was just okay still. So that's about as far as I got. Let's talk about the Snyder Cut a little bit, if you don't mind. Gonna change the background. I'm gonna do that every time we change subjects. The Snyder Cut is a dead end. Apparently, it's a cul-de-sac of creativeness, according to Walter Hamada. Did you hear about this shit?
Mm-hmm.
Stating basically that this is it. We're not going to get anything after this. We're not going to get the proposed Nightmare Justice League 2 that with Batman in the trench coat and all that, and the parademons, which really fucking kind of upset me. Hold on, Alex Ross going back to I love the first Wonder Woman. The team helped. Yep, that's one of the things I think I was missing. Also, was not that team but people like that team. Yeah, I'm really excited to see the Snyder Cut, but like, it's he shouldn't have said that it's a cul-de-sac, and we know what a cul-de-sac is. It's a dead end street with it's just houses, or whatever. Cul-de-sac's a rounded street, so that bothers me because why would you do that before? Take the spoiler banner down. Why would you do that before it was released? It might deter people from watching it. And maybe that's his plan because he doesn't want it to go forward. Maybe that's the plan because they're going in a different direction now with the Flash movie and whatever else that's coming out. So who knows if any of it's coming out because DC's released so many different movies that are coming out in Batgirl and Green Lantern Corps. None of it's happened yet.
Yeah, and Hamada, he came in like after Zack Snyder got approved to do all this anyway.
Yeah.
So, but like I've said in our private chats, I like Zack Snyder. I think he's a great visual director. I don't understand where a lot of people have a problem with him. I know that it's been
maybe it's cool to not like Zack Snyder.
Well, that's it. I mean, like I remember like people loved him with Dawn of the Dead and
Dawn of the Dead was awesome.
Huh?
Dawn of the Dead was awesome.
Yeah, and 300. Like. He's in the. I mean, I love The Watchmen. I thought that was like about as faithful as you can get to that comic.
Yep.
But once he got into the DC stuff, just people started hating on him, and just it's. I mean, I'm glad he's able to finish his movie. He had that terrible tragedy that prevented him from finishing his movie, and he gets to go back and just complete that job. But it's probably for the best that he gets to move on because he is a good director, in my opinion. I don't think he deserves any of the hate, and maybe just stepping away from DC might be the best thing for him.
And we're going to get to see a new zombie movie from him this year, I think on Netflix even, Army of the Dead, which Brian Enright's in that movie, just to show some support for the Brian Enright.
Yep.
But yeah, so that that's going to be happening. I don't know. I liked where this was going and all the rumors of what was going to come. It just was taking us to a place that I've been like been reading DC comics forever, and they were doing things like, first of all, they put Batman in a gray suit finally. They hadn't done that since 1966, unless you count the Sonar suit in Batman Forever, which I don't really count that. So I mean, they were doing things with this that was different and more comic booky, in my opinion, than what we've been seeing. Is Brian really? He's probably like an extra, but yeah, I think he is a zombie or something like that. But yeah, I'm really like looking forward to seeing how different the Snyder Cut's going to be. I'm also happy to hear that it's going to be coming out on at least 4K. So it sounds like I'll be popping my 4K cherry, if you will, with the Snyder Cut when that comes out. And I'll be able to have that in my collection. And I wonder if the Snyder Cut, they said, is going to be episodic on DC's Hasbro HBO Max. So I wonder if they're going to make it a 4-hour movie on the 4K. I'm curious to see that, but I don't know. I'm excited about it, and if it doesn't garner any other hopes, and I hope they somehow say that's a future that could happen, and then Flash changes everything else because we're losing Ben Affleck more than likely too. So
yeah.
Where did it go wrong? God, it went so wrong, and there was so much hope. I had wrote an article for my old Nightfall Unlimited about how to fix the DC universe after Batman vs Superman, even though I didn't think it needed fixing. But
the thing with Snyder is
real fast. Let me comment on what Alex says. He said if it does enough, I feel like that too. That's why I don't think Walter Hamada should have said it was a cul-de-sac, creative cul-de-sac. Because what if it goes gangbusters and it does what The Mandalorian did for Disney Plus, and you get tons of subscribers, and then you're just shitting on people who want to see stuff. That keeps happening anyway. Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Go ahead with your thoughts. Sorry.
Oh, just like Snyder is very good with being visually faithful, I think, to comic book stuff.
Absolutely.
But like you said, with Batman having that gray suit and looking like the Jim Lee Batman, you know what I mean? That's fantastic. But the problem is that not a lot of people, I guess, were on board for the more the dark, serious superhero stuff, the opposite of Marvel, I guess.
But they couldn't sit there and do the same thing as Marvel either.
Well, exactly, but it seemed like a lot of people wanted that. Like, just reading the comments from people online, just because it's not full of jokes and vibrant colors,
Look how cool they look.
Yeah.
They look awesome. I mean, Batman looks very comic accurate. I'm not big on a Flash costume, but
no, me neither.
But they do look pretty freaking awesome. I mean, I think it does have. I think you're right about where you're going with the DC versus Marvel shit. First of all, there is the DC versus Marvel shit, and then you got the Marvel fans are the people who are used to the way Marvel is. Oh, this is a family friendly movie, and maybe not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. It's unfortunate, and the fact that he has so much footage that they never used for the first movie, plus he shot like 2 additional scenes. Like all these people, even my little brother was like, "Oh, it's just gonna be the same fucking thing." It's like, no, it's not. It's like you don't understand that Joss Whedon came in and he reshot a lot of stuff. He threw out a lot of stuff. He didn't use shit of what Snyder shot.
No.
So it's tonally
nothing with Superman. None of the Superman scenes were Snyder's. Yeah. They were all Joss Whedon's.
Yeah, exactly. Tonally, it's going to be different. Story-wise, it's going to be different. Structure-wise, it's going to be different. It's going to be a fun experience, in my opinion. But like I said, like I like Zack Snyder. I like his films for the most part.
Yeah. Alex says, I think he said it would be a dead end because they don't have plans to continue. I mean, the thing, I I think the way Walter Hamada's coming off is it sounds like he doesn't want to have anything to do with it anymore. From what it sounds like to me, but
I
guess
think
what?
it's
This is happening whether you like it or not. It's happening, and we're gonna rejoice, and hopefully it lives up to the expectations that we all had for it.
Yeah.
And but the best part about it, it's not going to be what we were going to see in the theater anyway from the Zack Snyder, because more than likely what we were going to see was going to be 2 or 3 hours, or 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours. This is going to be up to 4 hours, I do believe. So we might be getting way more than we would have gotten in the theater anyway.
Yeah.
I would love to see, and I've heard they might they're talk or they approached Scott Snyder, who's a Batman writer for DC, about following up the movie with a comic adaptation, which would have been cool too. But he said he can't because his schedule's too busy, which is he's like the main writer at DC anymore. But I don't know. I'm excited about it. I can't wait till March. I think it hits March 25th or something like that. And I'm guessing, I don't know if they're doing it all at once or are they doing it weekly. I would do weekly. I think Netflix loses people by just like, I'm about to unsubscribe because I already got to see all of Cobra Kai. And the Mandalorian, that's where they did. And really, it wasn't them that did it first. Hulu, with their Stephen King shows like Castle Rock and 10 or 11, 22, 63, did it weekly first, I think, before anybody else.
Yep.
And I think that's the right way to go. You got 4 episodes. You got a month's worth of new subscribers coming in.
Yep.
So, and the Mandalorian, I mean, this was their response to the Mandalorian and Disney Plus. So, so there we go. This is happening. And we're not very far away from the freaking Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League, and I'm stoked. I'm excited.
That's March, right?
March 25th is what I hear. So I'm sure I'll be doing shows about that as well. WandaVision starts on Disney Plus on the 15th in a week from today. So a week from tomorrow. So we're finally starting to get content. I don't think WandaVision was going to come out last year, but we're finally going to start getting content that we missed out on in 2020. So no matter how bad shit was in 2020, we never really got much. We got some stuff, like I don't even remember what came out at this point, but we're finally going to start getting stuff regardless this year. There's going to be more Star Wars, more Marvel, a few more DC properties. So it's going to be fun. I'm excited about the Snyder Cut. I'm excited about DC's future, even if the Snyder Cut is just a one-off. So there's going to be a lot of good stuff coming. Can't wait for the Flash. I mean, and I think that's obvious to say. There's going to be 2 Batman in the Flash. So
yep,
it's going to be a lot of fun.
It'd be interesting to see what they do with that.
Yeah. Lord have mercy. I can't post anything on Facebook without something getting political. I've about had it with this politics bullshit. I think I'm gonna, let's see, we're about a half an hour in. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we jump off? I'd like to do half hour or so.
Yeah, that's fine. My back's
What are you gonna do with Superman Returns? That's the question.
Yeah.
That's the next movie that we're gonna look at and kind of talk about. Superman Returns. Let's talk about that for a quick minute. Not too deep because we're gonna do a whole show on it. But why are you excited about talking Superman Returns? I'd rather talk about Superman 2. Well, we're gonna get the rough stuff out of the way first.
Yeah. There's some good stuff with Superman Returns, but not very much. Like the airplane scene, that was pretty damn good. But for the most part, it's kind of a chore to get through. I mean, I haven't seen it in a while, so it'll be kind of fun to revisit before we talk about it.
There he is. This is the best part about.
He was a good Superman.
That's the best part about Superman Returns. I thought Brandon Routh was fantastic.
Yep.
I didn't like his costume all that much. Did you ever watch any of the behind the scenes stuff? Like they show like how like Bryan Singer looking at different options for the costume, and he got one. They put like little tiny Superman S's in every little piece of that costume. It's like, why? You know, like they put that symbol everywhere on the costume, even on the boots. I think the boots are, and then they had to take the color palette down and make it dark. It's like, why? This is Superman. You know, saying that's like the first time I saw Henry Cavill's Superman, I was like, ah, cool, but you couldn't see he had underwear on the trunk, you know. But then you see him and his costume's very dark. It's like, why are they doing this to Superman? Like I like Henry Cavill's costume for the most part, but why is everything always so fucking dark? Superman should never be really dark unless he's wearing a black suit, which is gonna in the Snyder cut.
I liked his costume in Man of Steel, but it was definitely too dark. I do like the lighter blue.
Yeah, I do too. This costume here is really nice to look at, except for like in different shots, it looks way darker than we see it here. Like I'm trying to find a side.
The,
Here we go.
the emblem is too small too.
Oh, way too small. Like why'd they make it smaller than it was in the goddamn movie? Or in the he's supposed to be Christopher Reeve's Superman. Why would they make? I didn't mind that it was like not plastic, but you know, plastic looking. Whoops, that's the wrong thing. 1 second, I got a picture here of the side by side of both of them that I want to put up because we're going to talk about Man of Steel as well eventually. You know, probably just cover all the Superman movies. There we go.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, let's go through this. And anybody watching, which one do you like better? Do you like Brandon Routh's Superman Returns suit or the Man of Steel suit? I want to say I like okay. I'm gonna go with the Man of Steel suit because first of all, you can see. I mean, it's not his real abs, but you can see like Superman always has that, and I like the emblem itself, the Superman symbol. It's huge, not huge, but you know, it looks better across the chest. The only thing is, I don't like the color palette.
Yeah, I agree.
T Wayne, what's up, man? What should I call you now? I appreciate you coming on. I hope you're okay. We're doing okay, I think. Me and my buddy Seth here. Man of Steel suit. Okay. Alex says Man of Steel. What do you think? Yeah, it's the bigger emblem. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's way too small. And I think they used the Superman Return suit for Smallville.
They did.
Yeah,
Yep.
what stupid. What do you think? Which one? Which one do you prefer?
Oh, Man of Steel for sure. But I maybe that's just because I'm biased. I like Henry Cavill better.
Yeah, I mean I think I do too overall. But Brandon Routh, man, they really, in my opinion, made a huge mistake with the way that movie went, and we'll definitely go into it a little bit more when we talk about Superman Returns. Maybe next week, even at the end of the Crisis episode, they changed his symbol on his chest. Did you notice that it was back to the regular old yellow and red?
Oh, did they? I forgot about that.
Yeah, but I mean, because honestly, this is the best. Look at this.
I love that suit. I love the colors. I love the emblem, and he was great. Like it was awesome seeing him come back as Superman.
Yeah, and like really, it made me go back and rewatch Superman Returns, and Superman Returns is not great, but Brandon Routh, in my opinion, held down the Superman role really well, and I would totally welcome him back to the Superman fold at some. If we can have fucking 3 people playing Batman at one time, why couldn't we have this man come back? Right?
Yep. I totally agree.
I mean,
and I thought that was going to happen too because he left Legends of Tomorrow around the same time.
Yeah,
he was playing Superman again. I'm like, sweet, but no, they announced this other show instead.
Yeah, with Tyler Hoechlin. So we've got 2 Superman now. Let's bring this guy back. Come on, look at how he's smiling. That's what Superman does, by the way.
Yep.
Anyway, we're gonna leave it here. We are gonna definitely be talking about Superman Returns very soon. I'm gonna keep those pictures saved for the Superman Returns show because look at how badass he looks. Tell me that does not look badass. Go ahead, say it. I know you want to.
That does not look bad. No, it looks bad. I'm a huge fan of Kingdom Come.
Yeah,
That was a big thing with me back when it first came out, and
that looks so good. I like the way the symbol looks too. They
yeah,
finally look like they figured out a way to perfect it. And this is the CW we're talking about.
yep,
You know, and then they took the same look and put it here on this one. They probably just changed the color somehow, but even the blue. Look at the blue is on fucking point. You know.
yep.
So anyway, we are gonna leave it here. I got things to do the rest of the night. I want to thank. Hold on. We got a comment here. You like the dark blue of the Cavill suit or the one I just showed? The Cavill suit does look really cool. It does change in BVS and Justice League too, so it is a little bit different.
Yeah.
Anyway, again, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to my measly channel. I really appreciate it, Alex. I'm expecting pictures of your lightsaber collection on Facebook ASAP. I've already seen your helmets, and I've seen you in your Han Solo costume. He did a costume. He does the Joker really well. I don't know if you're friends with him. What?
Yeah. I want to see him dress up like Kick-Ass because anytime I see his picture on Facebook, I think of Dave from Kick-Ass.
Yes.
It's not an insult, Alex.
Not at all.
You remind me of Kick-Ass.
From the movie for sure. From the movie for sure. Yeah.
The movie version.
It's not that's Aaron Johnson. That guy is I mean, he could, I mean, technically do Quicksilver too. From you. Anyway, Alex, you got some homework, my friend. We'll see you. I'll see you guys tomorrow. He says, "Hell yeah!" See, there you go.
There we go.
I'll see you guys tomorrow. Seth will be back on. Probably talk about Superman Returns. Maybe this weekend. You got some time this weekend?
I should be able to. Just get a hold of me.
I don't want to hear about it. No. Anyway, we'll just. Is it because I have to get you to watch Superman 2? Is that the problem? I mean, Superman Returns.
No, it's not.
Eventually, okay. No problem, Alex. Hey, man, I love you. Have you seen his Joker makeup?
I haven't.
And he's done the Heath Ledger. Repost those so Seth can see them. They're really good, man.
Yeah, definitely, man.
We'll talk to you guys later. Keep being a fucking geek. Geek that geekery alive, and we'll see you sometimes. I'll see you tomorrow. This motherfucker, he'll be back this weekend with some Superman Returns stuff. Right?
That's right.
We'll see you later.